going to try to make a project with these tea stained or spray and play papers, and I'm using the rice paper right now. It is kind of a robust paper. I can't quite get used to the texture. It was very hard to trim with this, but much easier to trim with this trimmer, and I can't quite get it to straighten out. But it is super fun. I'm going to try to make this into a project for an ornament booklet. I want it to house the directions, but I need to cut these down and make it into a booklet that's small enough and light enough that it's going to hang on the tree, and it will be a cute treasure to a little Klingon here, a cute little treasure to have my grandkids follow and make directions for their own ornament. But this is going to house the instructions. And see, it's crooked on the bottom, but I'm not going to deal with that yet. Let's just get our papers trimmed, our little paper sacks, and these were part of me dunking into a plastic drawer to dye the papers. And I don't want them all to be the same size and matchy-matchy. So let's try this one here. The texture of it feels like paper, but it's just tougher, and I like it. I love all the colors, how they came out. Gives it kind of an artistic look. It's hard for me to get this straight on there, and I want to measure the sizes, but I didn't actually measure them ahead of time. I just kind of eyeballed the box that I'm going to turn into the cover and get a size based on that. I might have to do extra trimming, and I don't care if it's not all uniform, obviously. Oh, but I think I just cut that one crooked. Okay, let's see if we can get this straightened out here. But it's fun to explore, and there are no instructions for this. It's just using creativity and trying to get your pieces matched up, and they don't have to be perfect. It just is fun to try to put this project or these papers into something that I'm going to treasure later on. It's not anything fabulous, but I think if I just line these papers up right, I might could get them sort of the same size or not have two shorties next to each other. Just having a hard time debating. I want to have eyes at the end of my fingertips so they can see better. Get that little sliver out of there. Okay, is this going to work? It's still a little off, but we're going to go with it for now. I could spend all day, and I don't want to take up all of your time, but we'll keep trying to make pages for this little booklet. Now, I like to use my trimmer sometimes as a scoring board, and I have a little stylus that fits in there, and I just put it right down the center. Now, I'm not sure if I should have cut that end off first, but for now we're just going to fold this over, and we'll debate on that because I might want to extend a page. Not sure how much extending of a page I'm going to need when I'm using this for a little ornament, but we'll push this down, press it, and ponder on it as we go along. I got something stuck here. Okay, so get those pieces together. Sorry if I'm making loud noises with my trimmer. What else do we have here? What else do we want to use? Okay, I've got this envelope. I want to use, I think, the window part. So we'll trim that off and save it. Oh, yep. I need to actually fold this over, and then I'm going to probably have to trim that down. All right, let's get this folded over, and then probably better get out some art glitter glue if I can one-handed take the little pin out and get this glue. Sorry, I'm out of frame. It's hard to see sometimes. And this is stuck, so we will have to unplug it. All right. I love art glitter glue, but I often leave the lid off or the pin out, and then I can't get the little spout to work. And my pin is getting a little bent up, so it doesn't want to go in. So we'll just take this off and do it this way. Grab that stylus. Let me see what size I want to do this. Make sure do I want to cover this first? No, we will cover it afterwards. Not make this a side tuck. We will just do it as a pocket. I want to make this fold here because I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to bind the signature together yet, but that is going to be small enough. Okay, what else do we have? Let's try this glycine bag. I love the sheen on this. But I'm trying to make them stagger different sizes so they are not same. This one is going to have more of an old look to it. And I'm excited about the embellishments I'm going to try and use with it, but let's see if I can get this put together first. On this sheet, I'm trying to figure out whether which side I want this paper at, and if I'm making it too much pink. Let's see what this is at. Okay. So there's my measurement. See if I can line it up and keep it straight this time. And voila. Okay, wait. How did I want that? It'd be nice to have a memory longer than 30 seconds to get one step of the project done. Let's try this side here and get a little bit of a variation in these colors. And if I fold it here, let's see, does this fit? I'm going to try and do smaller ones on the inside and larger pieces on the outside. But it is just trial and error. Just auditioning sizes and shapes and trying to decide how to put it together. All right, we'll trim that off and see if we can make that straight here. And maybe I want to just fold it in half, or maybe I do want to cut it in half. Decisions. It's kind of easier when you are watching someone else make things. You can just do it however you're following, but if you're making it on the fly, it's a little tricky. Okay. Next, let's see. I brought these papers back out because we got to cut those edges off to make the pockets. And I am trying to engineer this as I go, so we will see if we can we'll see if we can show these on camera because I keep pulling them off. I've got this Walmart bag, which would make some lovely thick pockets. It's kind of going to show that Walmart brand for part of it. I love the sheen on it. That is so pretty. If I fold this down, is it going to A, hide it, and B, too thick? And I think it's not going to work. It's going to be too thick. So that's all right. There's going to be use for this Walmart bag. I'm bound and determined to use it somewhere because I love the silver sheen on it. Looks festive. But I don't really want to advertise Walmart in my little ornament booklet. But we'll cut this down a little bit, see if that helps. But I'm not seeing that this is going to be beneficial in there. Let's see, what else could we use? More of the glycine bags. Let's just cut the end off of this one, and we're making more pockets for putting little tags with instructions on them, which I'm going to have to make yet, but I just love these baggies. And I'm excited to try some more of the spray and play or the tea stained or coffee stained or Tim Holtz stained, whatever we want to call them. I'm excited to do a little bit more of that when the holidays are over and I can learn from what I did before and not make the same mistakes twice. I don't think I need to fill up that drawer with all of the water that I did. They could just be saturated and then laid out to dry. But you gotta live and learn. Okay, this bag is going to maybe hold a pocket or become a pocket instead of a page pocket. Let's think on this. But I definitely need to start orienting the pages just right because I am famous for putting things upside down or forgetting to leave an open end somewhere. Just, you get busy and forget, oh yeah, there was a function for that. But I guess I'll just trim this down. I kind of want it a little bit smaller and get that opening better. Okay. Let me size these up. Start figuring out what goes where. That's kind of too fat to go there. And the envelope, I don't want to tuck in its little. Let's just chop it off. Wish I could cut straight, but trying to be forgiving about my mistakes. Okay, is that going to encase things? And, oops, sorry. Did I not leave an opening? There it is. I'm going to have to glue that little bag down a little bit. Okay, if I stack these all, I'm just going to start pressing, get the pressure applied so that they will start laying flatter. I'm sure this is going to be wide mouth at one end, but that's okay. We're just going to lean into it. I've got this tape runner box that I got from Creative Memories, and it was a kind of a goal to figure out if I could do something with this tape runner box at the last retreat I went to. So we're going to make this into the cover of our booklet for the ornament instruction booklet. So all my papers had to be able to fit in here, and I hadn't cut it up yet, but I kind of eyeballed it, and we'll straighten it all up eventually. But instead of having a spine, I'm going to try and fold it in half, which it is not folding in a good half, but it is there. It has landed on its fold, and it does not want to give me any leeway on where that is folding. I wasn't anticipating that, but we will go with the flow and get that trimmed up. Of course, if you do a little trimming, you might as well do a little bit of sanding to make that edge straighter. I try to sand very gently so I don't stir up a lot of dust and breathe it in or sneeze it out. But I just gently take a nail file, an old nail file, and try to sand that down a little bit. And then if I just take a wipe, sorry, I'm going to be off camera for a second. I just want to take a little wipe and wipe that down so the dust falls into the trash can. But this cardboard box, I don't know that I want it smaller, so I'm going to have to find out how exactly I want this to lay based on how it decided to fold. So I guess lesson learned, I will flatten that out next time and score it, but who knows what the next box will be. So we'll just trim this up and sand it so that it will be a nice, neat edge. Eventually I'll do the other edges too, but just for size purposes. And I don't think that was enough to make me sneeze, so we'll just wipe that off and see about sizing everything. Okay, now I need to find a cover. I'm going to use this pretty paper that I've been carrying around. I used part of it for a grief journal I'm making, and I've been just taking it around and around with me, and now I've got a spot on it. So we will just cover that up and use this. I'm going to try and just use this, maybe another sheet of paper from Creative Memories, but it's such a tiny project. And I am trying to get out all of my supplies, which I should have done earlier. But I think let's use the score tape. That 2-inch score tape ought to be perfect for a nice flat cover on the outside. I bet I could run a couple of these down. So I'm just going to roll it out and lay it down and hope I can do this straight. And if you don't, you're stuck with it. But it will be fine. I'm going to have to embroider that on a dish towel. It will be fine. But we will just snip this off and even it out. I'm going to do it on the outer two edges. Let me straighten this out a little more. If we do it on the outer two edges, then we'll see if we have room for something in the center. A strip down the center. Oh, and my goodness, I cannot keep it in frame to save myself. But that worked out nicely. Once it's down. So I could use undo and lift it back up, but might as well just trim it. I'll try to be a little more careful this time. And now let's see how much do we have left on this side. And if I put the tape on here, is it still going to fold okay? Is that really important? We're going to do it. Let's just lay it out, and I guess I better find out where I am going to meet the edges so I don't overlap and make a bulky spot. And voila, press it down. I love this Teflon score or tool, bone folder, whatever it is called. I love it. All right, let's try and fold this and get out the fab tool. And I know there's going to be some wrinkles. It's okay. It's going to be part of the charm of the booklet. But we will try and do that again. Let's get this back on the cover. See those spots? That's what's been damaged in me dragging this sheet around with me for the last 3 trips I've made. But that's the beauty and forgiveness of glue and adhesive. I gotta get this in frame and I keep forgetting. All right, we'll use this little tool. I love it because I don't have to get the stickiness under my fingernails or on my fingernails. And I can press it down where I need to. The little corners don't get all the attention they need otherwise. So use that little Cricut tool. Try to cover up this spot that's driving me crazy. Ta-da! All right. There it is. Let's cut using regular scissors. And let's trim that up. Do a little sanding. Sanding to straightness. Going for greatness. All right, there is that part of the cover. I'm liking it. I think that's probably a little too big, but I could probably cut it 3 times and it'd still be too short. All right, that's just a little joke. My carpenter friends used to make it. Cut it 3 times and it's still too short. Love it. Okay, now I have a cute little cover. Let's see what we can put inside of it. Let's just do all that again. This time we'll put this inside of it. The only difference when I'm doing on the inside, I don't really mind using my glue. We'll just slap glue all over the inside of this. Squeeze and apply this fabulous glue. And plenty of it. We are certainly going to make sure that this doesn't come unglued. I love that it's a little forgiving and lets you slide around, unlike the score tape when you make an error. There we go. Use the right tool, Kelbell. Do a little cleanup here, but I'm trying to figure out what I want to be the inside and what I want to be the outside. And I'm trying to get to that point where it's okay if it's wrinkly. I'm processing whether it's going to be showing or not showing. When you do the glue, it makes the paper a little bit soggy for a while. But I want to kind of train this to bend without lifting the paper off and give me some room to put that signature in. The wrinkles aren't going to show. It's annoying when I first look at it, and I don't like it how it is lifting in there, but we'll get some clips. I'll pause the video a little bit so that I don't make all kinds of banging noises while I dig through my drawer of clips. Get one of these clips and let it train that cover. Maybe I'll do 2. There we go. So that is going to dry. Now we'll get our signature ready to go in there. Just trying to get this part of our journal made, and this signature is going to be all of these lovely things that we have created in the spray and play. And I just want to make sure that they are all going the right direction, because I can see myself putting them in backwards or upside down. No, I would never do that. Let's put this on the outside. I don't want it next to another vellum piece or glycine piece. I don't know, I'm going to save that. I've got an idea for that later on. I think there's one more of those. Singular sensations. One singular sensation in every spray and play you make. Okay. And this one here, let's put this in between. Make sure it's either open at the ends or on top, which it looks like it is. And that looks like it will go there. I might trim a little bit more. On this one, let's take another one of these lines down. Hope I'm not sorry about that, but it is junk, so if I make a mistake, we just get over it. That's what I'm trying to do in life. If I make a mistake, I just want to get over it. Yeah, let's do it like that. Open it up. Top is where? Is there a top? Is it just going to be two side pieces? What did I decide the first time? Okay, two side pieces. So that can go there. I'll probably fold that one more time. Like that. And do we want this yet? I think we shall save that too. All right, getting some more clips. Does not have to be perfect because this is art. In my job, I try to be perfect. In my art, I get to let loose a little bit. Okay, we'll see. We'll see what we do here. Okay, this is a little like herding cats. I'm going to pause a minute and put it together. We're about to find out if we can chomp holes in all of this. Dun dun dun. Now we will try to clip this and see if we want holes on either end, which is how I've been planning. Am I going to miss anything? Let's scooch it up just in case. Scooch it down, just in case. Scooch it over, just in case. Yeah, who is this just in case? I have some work for him to do. I think we have success. Do I care if they are exactly measured? No. And that's not going to fit with all of that garbage there. So we're just going to punch it and love it. And I am just going over about that far. And I'm going to slide my marker. And we are going to see if we can chomp through. Oh, piece of cake. Piece of cake. And I'm going to eyeball it. Yeah, eyeball it when you are alone and it doesn't matter. But when you feel like people are watching you or judging you or critiquing your work, it makes you think about why you do something the way you do. But you still got to do it. Does that look good to you? Let's do it. Okay, that chomped through all of that. I am impressed. That's the first time I've done that. It's a new toy for me. Thank you, sister. Now I have the dilemma. Let's see, do we want to create a third hole here in the middle and do it similar to a book binding? Move these clips over. Will that fit? If I put it in here and make a third hole, I don't know. I don't want to commit to that and then just want it simple. Let me stare at it a moment. No, I think we're not gonna. At least not yet. We will try to thread one little scuff there. We'll try to thread this up and see if we need to change it up later on. I have this thin blue ribbon. I've had it for quite a while, and it has lasted me through many, many projects, but when I first bought it, I didn't know how much I was going to use this, and that I would still have it so many years later. But it is coming in handy at this moment for my little frosty ornament booklet. I wound it on a little clothespin here, but I keep trying to find different ways to store my ribbon. But this beautiful thing, I'm going to start to try and get this somehow pinched together so it will stay put. I don't want it to make a mark on the booklet itself. So we will put these down and then clip it, and hopefully that will clamp it tight and get it done. Remind me, next time, don't take off the clamps. All right, we've threaded the needle, and you can see I have actually made the third hole. I had to pause for a little bit and stare longer, and I just wanted to have that third hole of sturdiness. Plus I need to try and make sure I get through all of these papers and envelopes and catch them all. Oh, it's getting away from me. All right, just feed it through. Remind me, next time, don't take off the clamps. feed them all through. This is probably the hardest part, and it doesn't have to be, but because these papers are so irregular, it is a little bit more of a challenge than some of the other ones I have done, but I'm just feeding them like skewers. We're just skewering on the needle and fumbling our way through it. Yanking things. I might have to glue that. I've got a little cling on there. I'm going to have to trim off. This is part of why I do this now, so that my fingers will learn to bend. They're not bending like they used to, and they pop a little bit, but we'll keep trying. Get to see if my eyes will let me. Let's see if we can get this thread through. Fabulous. I always feel like it's a daily win. You got to keep score as you get older for the little things that don't matter when you're younger, but you're like, look at me go. But I'm just going to feed it through the holes of all of these. Again, like skewers. It's making me hungry. Let's have a barbecue. But we're going to get all of these papers in there. And I just want to show the good, the bad, the ugly, the frustrating, the continue going even when it's driving you nuts kind of attitude. And there's always room to fix if there's anything that doesn't work out. So we will go up underneath and kind of tighten that up. And did I get it all? Still got that little cling on, but let's make sure all the pages are upright and in the places they're supposed to be before I'm not sure about this flap here. Still debating on that. But they look like they're all going the right direction, so we can tie our knot. I'll leave these tails long. I'm debating on whether to add another piece to it so I can hang it. I might need these tails to tie it closed because it's bound to get fatter. That should be enough. And that is, sorry for smacking, that is all the beauty of the Ruffler's Roost from back in the day when I had to have so much of it. The most beautiful color in the world at the time. Okay, these look like they are in just fine. I'm going to cover that up. Probably use some more of the paper or get out the Creative Memories paper pack and utilize some more of those papers. Let's see if I can trim this a little straighter. Yeah, okay. I am actually feeling victorious here. Take that out, and now we can use that in another spot to embellish. We'll see what we're going to do with that. But there is this booklet. It is made now, so I can start putting tags and pockets and embellish away. Make it something fun and useful.